What up, what up? New VIP incoming today? Are you kidding me? Are you close? That would be pretty crazy. I'll be impressed. Not even close? Oh, okay. To be honest, I was pretty impressed you all got it. 160k? That's still... You're on good pace. You're on good pace, you know? So you have 160k left, basically? Yeah. Ah, it's not that bad then. What are you gonna do with the price increase? Left 300k? Ah, okay, well. Well... we might be here for a while. I'm still streaming though. I'm still streaming, so you know, as long as I'm streaming, you can make it. Pretty good. Got a good feeling about today. Feel like we're gonna get some upgrades. I think tomorrow I might do a leveling stream tomorrow. I'll prepare it tonight because I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we do like at least the beginning of a character. Maybe. What's up? The new VIP is here. Holy. Look at you. Also, what the fuck? I just saw that the PoE reveal is like at fucking 10 o'clock. Fucking hell. I won't be here. I have to do something. Bragging with the new watch? Yeah, it is what it is, you know? So I'll probably react to it tomorrow, honestly. Tomorrow when I open the stream. Return of the Ancients? Yeah, that's what it's called. I don't even know what the fuck they're teasing, because it looks... In 6 hours. I have to be gone in 4 hours. Because I have an appointment. I have like a call. So I can't be on stream. I thought it was earlier. I thought it was like in 1 hour, but I completely forgot New Zealand fucking, well, different time zone. Huh? It's fine. We'll talk about it tomorrow. It's fine. I was watching some people's expectations on the endgame, and everyone is like, bro, if the Atlas doesn't get like a Giga rework, like, log out, you know? But I feel like it doesn't matter what mechanics they add, right? The problem is the actual... Like, the mechanic... I think the mechanics are fine. It's just like... the problem is the Atlas, no? Like the actual... I don't know. If it's just like mechanics and endgame, and they don't know anything with the UI and the navigation and the infinitely expanding map and all that, I'm gonna be pretty. I'm gonna be in doomer mode. I still might play just because the campaign, just to experiment swords if there's swords, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I'm actually pretty excited. I'm very curious to see how. I'm very intrigued. Even if I don't end up playing, I'm very intrigued to see what the developers do, because I think they have a pretty. I think it's pretty hard to do what they have to do. So I'm very curious to see how. I don't know, like what they how they approach the situation. What does Bina mean? Bina is like the Holy Spirit, basically. He's God, and he's also Savior. He's also what gives you purpose in life, but in last epoch, you know? So Bina is everything. Bina is like love, basically. It's like I'm kind of like starting a new religion where Bina is like the Jesus, kind of. And if you wonder who is Bina, it's very simple. We can go to look. This is Bina. This. This is Bina. We're gonna add a new command. Exclamation add com/Bina. Boom. Now we do Bina. Holy fuck, and this opens. This is good. It's just it's a friend. Bina is a friend. It's another streamer, and Bina. It's just it's like a way of life. It's my partner anniversary. Holy. What's up, Master Sword? Good to see you. How long I've been partnered? Like 3 years? I think it's 3 years, no? I think it's 3 years, but... I think I had to apply like 5 times or some shit. They didn't want to give it to me, man. And it's funny, they only gave it to me when I put on my application that I was a team lead for Maxroll. Hey, what's up, Sins? I was lurking on your stream a bit yesterday, watching you play Forge Weapons. I might do a leveling stream tomorrow, because turns out I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so... It's very weird, like the Twitch partner thingy, because I remember I didn't get it for like a long time, right? And then I remember when I got it, a lot of people in my sphere also got it, like some other Ellie streamers, and so I think they do like, you know, they look at their. I assume they have some data around it where they go like, hey guys, it's time to get some new guy, like, you know, like they have. I don't know. Seems like they have some sort of like arbitrary metric that they look at to see. because like I had the numbers for like like my numbers were like, I mean, really good, and I was being quite careful, right? I was trying not to stream when I knew the viewers were gonna be like, I was really careful about it. Like I had like basically they were asking for like 60 concurrent or something, and I had like 300. You know, like it wasn't even. And I had to apply like 5 times, or I don't know if I got accepted at the 5th or at the 6th, but I know I applied at least 5 times. 2 apps, then cracked up ads and got it right away. I never did any ads. Well, I did the minimum. No. Now I think I run 3 minutes of ads just because it's the necessary to not get pre-rolls. But if I could run less, I would run less, honestly, because this is not my job, right? So I'd rather make the stream more enjoyable. But I hate pre-rolls, like, because I know, at least from my experience, if I click on a new stream and I get pre-rolls, the chances of me not clicking the stream are so high. So I run 3 minutes just so I don't get pre-rolls. Because I think it's very bad for like getting new viewers and discovery. But if I could run less, I would, honestly. But, you know, because, you know, I have a job now and stuff, so... Yeah, when I see pre-rolls, like, I'm out. And I feel like if I watch a stream and I enjoy 10 minutes and then I get ads, I think I'm more likely to, like, oh, fuck, this stream is fun. Fucking ads, you know? But I'm actually staying because I got to see the content, right? Before they're already hooked. Especially if the content is good, right? When they click, right? Happy partner streamer. Thank you, thank you. You used to stream a lot since, or like, what did you stream before? Because, back in the day or something, or? Bannerlord, interesting. Like the first one, or? And Battle Brothers is the other one like that, like a... I actually kind of like those games quite a bit. I played a lot of modded Bannerlord back in the day, like a lot. I used to watch a lot of content actually of Bannerlord, like Surreal Beliefs, and like I used to play a lot of Total War stuff, like back on the original Rome Total War. Like I used to play a lot of those games. I used to watch a guy called Prince of Macedon. This is like ancient YouTube days. He played Rome Online. And then I got into that. There was a couple YouTubers that basically transitioned from Total War to Bannerlord, and that's how I discovered the game. I used to watch this guy called yeah, I watched a lot of them, but I think there was a YouTuber called Surreal Beliefs, and he played he did like a bunch of modded Bannerlord and a bunch of modded Total War Medieval and stuff, like Lord of the Rings mods and all that. Basically a mix of Slay the Spire, Bannerlord, and Final Fantasy. Yeah, I think I've seen it. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't even buy Bannerlords 2. Because I was so excited when they made the announcement, because I played a shit ton of the first one, like a shit ton, like modded versions and stuff. But I don't know what, like, it feels like the developing cycle of that game was fucking awful, no? I don't know what they, like, the early access, I don't know, like, it like, I feel like it had zero hype. Like, it was like, it released, but it released too early, but then it didn't really feel like a release, and then it took like a long time to actually be released or whatever. Like, I don't know, I just lost, to be honest, I started playing LE also, and I just lost interest. But even right now, it's like, is that game finished? Like, what is going on? Yeah. I know they had a lot of problems with the early access and the development and stuff. But I enjoyed the Bannerlord 1 like so fucking much. Well, Warband, the original one, whatever it's called, so much. Especially the modded playthroughs with like Lord of the Rings one. Holy fuck, man. Actual fantasy, man. I wasn't particularly good, by the way, but I don't know, I really like it. The power progression on that game is like I was so excited because they were promising to focus more, because the original Bannerlord was pretty much like a... I mean, you could use some mods, but I think the diplomacy options were pretty limited, no? It was pretty... I feel like every playthrough ended up being like, okay, I just get a big warband and I conquer the entire map, kind of. And I was so excited because it looked like we were gonna get like good... Like it would be a bit more CB, you know, the campaign. And I don't even know if they managed to do that. There's no diplomacy, and yeah, I was super excited about that, and some more roleplay aspects and stuff, and yeah, unfortunate. I also played the Roman DLC too, like. I played a lot of medieval Total War with the mods, because there was like a Third Age Total War or whatever, that mod, and the Age of the Warhammer mod before Total War Warhammer existed. Holy fuck, man. I played so much of that. This is like years and years ago, though. I wasn't really... I was never really a super Sid Meier Civilization guy. Because the grid kind of like... And the simulation kind of combat was... I don't know, for me Total War was just the best of both worlds, you know? Abusing the cavalry charge. Cavalry on Total War in general was fucking OP as fuck since the beginning, since the first Total Wars. Oh, I didn't know you played those games. Those are pretty hard games to stream. I'm impressed, actually. Because I feel like those games, because there's so much... I feel like it would be really hard to stream that game. Like you... Because there's so much idle time and so much farming and so much... And I normally used to consume that on YouTube, mostly. Because, you know, they could just edit all the boring parts, right? Like the... But I guess it's like an RPG if you think about it, no? You're just farming, like what I'm doing right now. I guess. Conquer the world in like 15 hours? Okay, so you were like giga good. I was definitely not. But my achievements felt like insane, you know? Then I had a bit of a Kenshi face. But have you played Kenshi? It's hard. It's really hard to get into. Apparently he's doing Kenshi too. I played a lot of Kenshi back in the day. And it was so hard. Like, holy fuck, that game was like hacking into 2001. You just started that? What did you start? Because the problem I had with Kenshi at the beginning is that I wanted to... I really wanted to have like the hero journey, like single hero journey, like super redemption arc thingy. And yeah, if you start like that on your first playthrough, holy fuck, you're gonna spend a lot of time unconscious. To say the least. Dude, Kenshi has probably the best song of... I'm not even exaggerating. I think it's the best song of any video game. Look at this song. I think this might be my favorite song of any video game. Scorching Wind is called. Oh, this song, man. Holy fuck, man. We're gonna play it. Look at this song. This is the, like, this song is just like... I don't know what it is. It's like... And if you played Kenshi, you know that feeling? Holy, man. Look at this song. Holy, hits hard. Apparently he's doing Kenshi 2 now or something, like the guy. Dude, I watched an interview of this developer, the Kenshi guy. He's like, absolute fucking based. He's like, I don't want you to be powerful. I want you to be a shit. Like, I don't want you to be a hero. I want you to be a fucking nobody who turns a hero. Won't be out in forever. Yeah, one can dream, you know. I'm young. We have time. Any luck with the Exalted Orbs from the Defiled Fortress? Nope. And I've been killing them, but holy song, man. Double tier 7s are a thing of the past? No, they're not. By the way, weird since yesterday, it would be pretty fun if you can help me calculate what... Because I was actually curious yesterday, because you guys know that there's this guy in the ladder who made like all these accounts about imprint farming is dead or whatever, players, like this guy, right? I was kind of curious and thinking, okay, what is this guy imprinting? Like, for sure, if he's making 20 accounts to criticize imprints, he's gonna be using a tier 8, right, and stuff, and he's gonna have one suffix, one prefix, and he's gonna be doing all the right things, right? Turns out, you can actually look at what he has imprinted, right? Because you can look at his profile. Well, yeah, he's basically doing everything wrong. But he still made an account commenting on how bad they are, and it's not even imprinting tier 8s. It's like imprinting raw triple tier 7s and like, you know, with double prefix tier 7 and stuff like that, with like random affixes and. Which I find pretty interesting. It just explains human psychology, really, right? Like, people would rather like complain and make these kind of things without actually looking at, without ever questioning, am I the problem? Am I the problem? Am I doing something wrong, maybe? Like... Yeah, exactly. Like, I look at his imprints and it's like... I'm actually even thinking about making a video about this. Could you actually give me... I don't know, because I tried looking at the reroll chance on Tanklabs, but now it's on weight. No, yeah, but just to make a video to EAG, kind of like talking about, like, hey guys, be careful with this feedback, because the feedback... not even a public video. But it's just like, because the people giving you the feedback have no... But they have no idea how the game works, and this is very unexplored territory. Be careful with buffing this too much, because if you buff it and people learned how to use it, it might be more buff than intended. It's, you know, kind of like as a warning, because they should definitely they can bump up imprints a bit, but if they, you know, the people's feedback is based We can hop on Discord. Yeah, I mean, feel free if you want to jump. If you want to jump now, like I'm down. Like, I'm just farming favor, so I'm down. Let's go. Sure. Just send me a message and we can take a look at it. What's the TLDR on imprints? We'll talk about it, but basically, there are certain things that are really important to maximize your imprint proccing. And a lot of the people, even the people who play for thousands of hours, basically are not doing it properly because they haven't looked into it. For example, I didn't really look into it until like 3 days ago because I didn't feel like my character was at the point where I needed imprints at all. But now that I got into it, I got to understand it a bit more. And basically it's interesting how a lot of the people giving feedback are basically doing everything completely wrong, right? 1 second, I'll accept the... Is this you, Tambin? Okay. I'll call you. Let me clear this map and we do it, okay? And we'll take a look at it. Are you here? I don't think I can hear you though.
Hey, 1 second.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Kept muted for some reason. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, I can hear you.
And let me see if they can hear you. Can you speak?
Good morning, everybody.
Okay, they cannot hear you. So 1 second. Oh, actually talk.
Testing.
Okay, they can hear you, but you're a bit too low. Okay, talk again.
Testing.
Okay. Let me finish the map really quick.
Sure.
So yeah, I got curious, right? Because I don't know if you saw that this guy made like all these characters for the ladder, which I thought it was funny to begin with, right? Like I thought it was funny. But you would assume like, well, the guy is at fucking 30 corruption. Maybe he's looked into like the available resources, you know, or I don't know. He probably plays with people. I don't know. He could watch stream or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if there are even resources in his native language?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But
my core thought is that like you shouldn't have to reverse engineer systems to take advantage of them.
I agree. I agree with that.
If you do, if they double imprint procs, it's going to be insanely OP if you do reverse engineer.
If you do it properly, exactly. That's the problem.
Yeah. I actually think right now, once you know how to work it, it's about right.
But it feels to me like at the moment it's like, you know, you're let's just say you have to balance the game of basketball, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you start hearing a lot of complaints about people telling you, hey, the basket is too high. You guys should lower it to the floor. And then you do it, and then you go check how people were playing basketball. You realize that they were playing with their feet, and you're like, oh fuck! Like now that they realize they can use their hands, now everyone's scoring very easily, you know, because we lowered the basket, and now they learned they could use their hands. So
I mean, yeah, exactly. So I guess my core thought is they should take out the way like things like reroll chance and reroll chances work. Like basically the way that we're gaming the system, you should get the same proc as we're getting now with gaming the system without gaming it.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like you wouldn't have to. Every affix should just have that weight and not even be taken into account. Whatever affix you imprint is the affix that has like a, or make it so it's always the same reroll for every affix, and you're actually imprinting the item that is intuitively good and not like some weird shit, right?
Exactly.
Let me
I think upgrading curates to get more imprints is, I think that's kind of cool because like you spend a resource, like you're basically bricking your item for use and
yeah, I think that's cool. I think that's cool.
Like that.
But that would be very easy explained, like if in the tooltip of imprints you say, tier 8s will, primordial items will make it more likely for that affix to be on your item, boom, or that tier,
Exactly.
That's all they have to add, and boom, right? It doesn't have to be more
shouldn't
complicated.
Need a financial analyst to spend 10
Yeah.
hours figuring the system out to get, to get procs. Like that's kind of where we're at now.
Okay, let's take a look at this guy, and I'll share the stuff. I'll share the screen with some of the boys. Can we give some context? Okay, I'll give some context, and then I guess we can talk about it. So I'll probably record it just to have it. 1 second. Okay, so to give up some context, recently there's been a lot of talk about the current state of imprints. Everyone is complaining about how nerfed they are and how bad they are, to the point that the top guy on the softcore ladder has made a bunch of like new accounts, new characters, and has bumped them up into high corruption using Confluence of Fate with names like Stupid Seasons, no drops, revert the imprint nerf, imprints bad, players are unhappy. And obviously, the devs are listening to all this feedback and this uproar from the community. Mike has even said on his stream that they are gonna buff imprints. So I've been learning about imprints myself, because it's not something that I looked into too much last season because I wasn't super interested in them. And with the help of some of the current resources that are out there, for example, by Frozen Sentinel, and some people in my chat and other players like Weird Sins, who's here with me today to give some context, we actually wanted to understand the system more to see, is it really that weak and that bad, or are we just bad? And it turns out mostly we are bad. So hello, Sins. What's up?
Good morning.
So yeah, I basically wanted to take a look at, hey, this guy, which is this user, what is his account name? WGWG, he's gone all the way to make like a bunch of political accounts, statements, right, where he's like explaining imprints are bad, yeah. So I wanted to see, okay, what is this guy imprinting actually? Because, he has very strong opinions about the system, so let's see what he's actually doing. So thanks to the inspect tools that we have available in websites and stuff, we are actually able to see what people are imprinting. And for example, we can actually take a look at the items that are being imprinted. And if you know anything about how imprints work, well, these are not particularly good, to say the least. So, Sins, do you want to explain a bit why something like these items that are whizzing on screen are not good for imprinting?
Yeah, so a couple different things. Based on Frozen Sentinel's data, he kind of reverse engineered a lot of the drops.
Yep,
having
we have it on
two
screen.
prefixes or two suffixes that are exalted basically bricks your imprint.
Yep.
And having your exalted affixes have high reroll chance. So things like physical pen or area for melee skills also bricks your imprints.
Yep.
Basically, the system we have right now is once you figure out how to reverse engineer the imprints, you can make a weird item using like basically craft on it to make a perfect imprint. And then they still proc at a pretty acceptable rate. Like maybe the rate we're playing Wizard, we're finding one every maybe 1 to 3 hours, somewhere in there, which is, I think it feels good. But instead of the system kind of naively being good, we imprint an item like this, we should expect to get some good imprint drops. So you kind of have to game the system in order to get what feels like an acceptable result.
So for example, we have figured out that, and thanks to the research by Frozen and others, that it's very important that you don't have affixes with high reroll chance, right? Because if the item rolls that affix, it basically rerolls the tiers the item will get, which basically means that that tier never appears on your item because it's getting rerolled 90 or more % of the time. Which basically means like, you roll the imprint regenerates, it goes check what the base imprint is. Oh, it has physical penetration. Physical penetration is a 90% reroll or whatever. And yeah, your tier 7 is gone. Next, right? On top of that, if you actually share for example, you have an item with 2 tier 7s and they're both prefixes, there's also overriding there, right? And there's problems with that too.
Maybe show your Axe imprint wizard for a counter example.
So for example, what I'm imprinting currently, because I want to get access like this, right? With a tier 7, double tier 7 basically for my world splitters, I am currently imprinting this item, right? Which we made for the sole purpose of imprinting, basically. I want to get attack speed and I want to get crit chance, but it's actually bad for me to get exalted or crit chance at all in my item, especially exalted crit chance, because crit chance is has a higher reroll than some of the other affixes. And for example, stun chance, thanks to Weird Sins who helped me come up with this stuff, stun chance is actually perfect because it has a 0% reroll chance, right?
Correct.
Exactly.
I think Melee Cold is a 30% reroll, so this is we're gonna lose 30% of our procs in this item.
Yes,
but it's
it's
pretty
still
close
better
to
than what I started with. I can actually show the item I started with because I think I have it too. Splitter, right? So I actually started with this item here, which has tier 8 void damage, tier 6 armor shred, and tier 7 lightning damage. So after this procced, yeah. I actually, what I did is I tried to reroll the affixes and getting the right seal, so I would increase my chances into getting an imprint that proc properly. And so far, you know, I've been imprinting my current imprint for like a day, basically. And just yesterday doing tropes, I think it procced like 4 times or 5 times. Just doing like, I don't know, I think I did a total of maybe 50 tropes. So it procced like once every 10 on average or something like that.
Which 500C, correct?
Yeah, at 500C, yeah. So, for example, the perfect scenario for my case, which is what I want, right? Ideally, I would want tier 8 attack speed, right? Because that way, tier 8 attack speed doesn't have any reroll chance, and it's also the affix that I want. So this is basically my best in slot tier 8. I also, ideally, I just want a tier 1 melee crit, just so, hey, if it happens to be there, why not? Because I can Havoc easier. And ideally, an open prefix, so I can just craft the other affix easily. And then on my suffixes, I would just want something useful, plus a tier 7 of any of these affixes, which are the ones that have 0% reroll chance, to guarantee that if the item rolls for double tier 7, the tier 7 is not getting rerolled, right? So I'm getting close and close, and if I happen to get an item like this, every time my imprints proc, it would actually get a 14% chance to be a double tier 7 that I can work on. Of all the imprints that proc, which again, they do proc quite a bit. So again, while the system, we were talking about this, right? Like the problem that the system have is that it's not intuitive at all, but we have to be careful when we talk about systems being bad or not working versus the systems being complicated and hard to use. And I think you agree with me here, since that we are a bit concerned that if the imprints are buffed and then people learned how to use them, it could get a bit out of control. I don't know if you want to talk a bit about that.
Yeah. So I think the feedback here is that just buffing the imprint procs or the double tier 7s is probably not going to give the result we want. Now that this is, knowledge has all been reverse engineered, people like Blizzard and I are going to be able to create double tier 7s every 20 or 30 minutes if you just buff the base rate. And I think that's, to me, an unacceptable result. So, I mean, I think our feedback and around the same page here is that the formula for how those proc needs to be reworked to be intuitive. And kind of, there's a lot of different ways to make that work, but it's the base rate of imprint procs feels, it could be doubled, but no more than that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Given that the formula for how you get from imprint to drop probably needs a full rework, in my opinion, rather than just the base rate.
Like it would make, because for example, when I started doing my imprints, right, I was just like this guy on the ladder that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. And what did I imprint? Well, I imprinted tier 7 melee attack speed, tier 7 melee crit chance, because that's how you used to do it, right? Like they would proc so often that it didn't matter that there was rerolls going on. So you would just imprint the closest thing of what you won, right? Back in the day, because the system was so overpowered that it didn't matter that you imprinted the right item, because the math hasn't changed on the probabilities. It's just that now that it has been nerfed so heavily, you actually have to craft a good imprint for it to be noticeable. And if you imprint the items that you used to imprint, then you feel like they never proc because the imprints are dog shit, pretty much, right? And this is what I started imprinting, and it never procced, and it never procced, and it never procced. And then after some digging and looking at the information, now suddenly it's proccing quite reliably, especially talking about the top tier end of the cycle kind of item that, you know, like obviously you're not going to be doing this before your character is pretty good already, right? A suggestion that we've been talking about is, like, for example, how the entire reroll affix type thing functions should probably be looked at, right? Like, ideally, in order to get that double tier 7 of what you won, it would be better if it worked. Like, imagine I had this axe, but I used a tier 8 on one of these affixes, and that gives me the higher chance. That would be very easy to understand for a new player, right? Hey, I want an axe with crit, I want an axe with melee attack speed, and if I get tier 8 in one of these affixes, I'm happy. But the fact that you're actually better off, like, getting tier 7 stanchions and tier 7 this or that, or tier 8 this or that, and that makes it better for your imprint, it's quite confusing. And I think that's why people, even people who play for thousands of hours, have actually no idea what they're doing, and they're not succeeding at all. So we probably need to take a look at the, like, how you were saying, right? They probably need to take a look at how the formula works rather than, because if people don't understand the system, it doesn't matter how much they buff it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Any other suggestions or any other comment you wanna?
No, I think that kind of sums it up. You know, numerically, between the imprint right now and double is probably acceptable, as long as that formula for how we get from imprint to actual proc is reworked. I think we'll get a good result.
Yeah. I think what they should probably do is, like, basically, no matter what affix you have, the reroll chance should be standardized. So no matter what affix you have, it's always the same. So the player doesn't have to go on third-party websites and have a fucking Excel sheet to use this system properly. And I think if they do that on its own, it's gonna be pretty good already. Especially if the developers want to keep double tier 7s as a super rare thing, which it feels like they still wanted to. But it's not as rare as even people on top of the ladder think, because they're not using the system properly. Yeah. I mean, I'm proccing them, so, and all I did was, like, listening to fucking weird synths and looking at some documents for, like, the last day. So, and people in my chat, MML has been doing this too on his warpath, and he's been getting double tier 7 imprints now that we did the tier 8 thingy. So yeah, I don't know, something to keep in mind.
And we both liked the tier 8 making the imprint proc more frequently. As I think that should be on the tooltip, though.
Yeah,
if that's the way we want to keep it.
Yeah,
I like that mechanic that you can invest in your imprints. I think that feels cool.
Yeah, because when I got this item, for example, I could have tried turning this into this, right? Because that would be the logical thing to do. But the fact that you can, when you get your first tier 7, you have a choice of, oh, do I want to use it already, or do I use it, or before I use it, I'm gonna use a tier 8 so I can make sure I can now reliably every 1 hour of gameplay get another one. Like, I think that's pretty cool, right? Because it's you turn an item into an investment, and, you know, Rune of Evolution is not particularly cheap either. Like, it does have some value, right? It is something that you don't have infinite, right? So yeah, I like that mechanic. It's just like, I think the system has to be easier. You shouldn't have to go to a third-party website to understand it, but EAG, keep in mind that all the people giving you feedback have no idea how to use it, right? So if we buff it and people learned how to use it, we may have a problem again. So be careful. Yep. I guess. For example, we can take a look. I stop recording now, but just like because I don't want to like blast this Chinese guy. Like I was using him as an example, right? But for example, like you were saying that, for example, area of skills has like a 90% reroll,
something like that. Yeah, it's not common.
Yeah, and then we have also the physical penetration also has a high reroll, right? Damage over time, I assume it's just like another 30-ish or something. So again, you will be lucky if this item gets a tier 6, basically, even though it looks really good on paper, right?
Maybe another for the short-term valuable thing to make while we're on the call would be how to craft a good imprint.
Yeah,
it's pretty easy. I mean, I don't think it's even a Giga late game thing. Like I'm doing it. My character is maybe like 25, 30 hours in. I'm already crafting tier 8s for imprints.
Yeah, I mean, for example, like, and again, we're talking like getting double tier 7s. But for example, since I've imprinted my axe, right? Since I've imprinted my axe, these are all the tier 2 axes with attack speed, and like all of these are tier 7. All of these are imprints. All of this. I have pages and pages and pages of. Oh, no, you can see they're all at attack speed, and they're all imprints. All of them are. All of them. All of these are imprints that I got. And you can see some of them are double
tier 7s, and then you get a decent amount of doubles.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because again, if you manage to make an item like this, single tier 7s, which is something that people are complaining too. I mean, you basically have a factory. Like, this is not, like. Double tier 7s will still be rare no matter what, but if you do have a good imprint, like single tier 7s are just gonna be of the affix you won, you're basically gonna have infinite. And with the corruption system, honestly, it's pretty likely you're pretty likely to get basically a double tier 7 just out of brute force, no? Like I had so many single LP splitters, right? Like all of this can turn into a double tier 7, right? Eventually, so.
I think if we make like that, there's a lot of questions in chat on the reroll chance. I think if we make a quick like 2-3 minute video about how to craft a good imprint, it'll answer all of them. So like African American Potato and Master. We have like like a random T7 that's not craftable. We can take a look at like a boot or glove or something with like terrible affixes you would never slam.
Yeah. Do you want me to look for a double tier 7 basically?
Yeah, any double tier 7 you're not going to slam.
We can take a look. So maybe like a belt or like a. Let's see. Let me find some.
The bottom one is actually perfect. The bottom one, copper ring, that was double tier 7. Here's a perfect example of what's going to become a great imprint.
Okay.
So right now it's if I pull this up on Tunk Labs.
Yep.
So attunement on a ring, what you want to do is go to Tunk Labs, and this is a short term until it gets changed.
Yep, we go to Tunk Labs.
Tunk Labs. So go into affixes.
Yep.
In the upper left. I mean, you know where this is, but this is kind of for chat. And then go into any type rings.
Any type.
Across the top.
Rings.
Any item type. The third bar, we pick rings.
Yep.
And then search for attunement.
In
the search bar.
Yep.
So we see that attunement is 0.7. And so what this means is that 30% of the time, when the game procs attunement as its affix on the item, it will re-roll. So likely get something different.
Yep.
And what this means for imprints is it'll re-roll the affix, including the tier. So the way the game generates items, you're going to find more health. Health never re-rolls. When health procs on an item, it'll always stay on it. 30% of the time when it procs attunement, that attunement is going to get rolled into a different affix. And that tier on the imprint is lost. If we imprinted this now, this 0.7 weight means that 30% of all of our procs are gone already.
Yeah.
And if we search for an upper left elemental resistance in that search bar box.
Yep. That's another 30%.
So we're going to lose right off the top half of our imprint procs if we were to imprint this.
If we wanted,
this is almost out of foraging potential, so this might not be something we want to create. So let's say even if we wanted attunement and elemental resistance, we would never imprint this because this is not going to proc.
Yeah, because again, you keep in mind, you gotta roll the imprint, right? So that's already nerfed by the patch, so it's not happening as often as before. And then, you know, it's gonna be rolling each thing individually. So you're gonna 30% of all attunements will be gone, and 30% of elemental resistances. These two tier 7s, they're both re-rolling, right? So you will get you can get fucked, right? So even though this looks like a perfect imprint, if this is the two stats you're looking for, it's actually pretty bad for you, right? It's very unintuitive, but that's how it works.
Yeah, so at this point we would say, because we're out of foraging potential, ideally we would use Runes of Redemption and or Havoc to create what we want, because Strength is probably a low reroll, and I think Cold Resistance is a no reroll.
Yeah, and keep in mind that the reason why reroll chance is important is because we want to make one of these affixes tier 8, and which is a tier 8 will become a sealed primordial, right? So sealed primordial reroll chance is gonna be. I think the chances of reroll for sealed affixes are even more influential than the items that are not sealed, right? So because you would use Rune of Evolution right now on if you want to turn this into imprint, because tier 8 actually increases the chance of tier 7. So but the sealed affix will take into account what the reroll chance is. So you want to make sure that whatever your tier 8 is a low reroll chance, right? So this would be catastrophical, basically.
Yeah, so you might be desperate. You might say, okay, this is half effectiveness. I'm still going to evolution this and imprint it, and then my second drop, I'm going to recraft into a better imprint.
Exactly. You could do this as a start imprint and just play while you're doing other stuff, farming stuff, and then look.
This might take 4 to 5 hours to proc your second tier 7, and then that one you're crafting it into a perfect imprint. That's kind of the way I'm doing it. So in my run, I'm 30 hours in. I don't have a lot of tier 7s. I actually might have an imprint that for a new character.
Yep.
And then just wait for the second drop. Like, you could do it. And then that second imprint you'd craft into a perfect one.
Let's look for a weapon, for example, that we could craft on just to show it. Let me see if I find something like a melee weapon that
I don't have already that you would use. If you need like a double tier 7 body or something, or
let's look for a weapon. I know I have a lot of maces and stuff. For example, this one would be pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because why is this good? Because we have stun, and we know stun is a 0% reroll chance, right?
Correct.
So here, what I would like to do, since I have an open suffix, right, is I would like to craft here something that also has a 0% reroll chance, right?
We want opposite suffix and prefix. So if there's 2 prefixes or 2 suffixes, it bricks.
Exactly.
So if you look at Melee Void, I think that's a high reroll.
Yeah. We don't want this to be our tier 7, that's for sure.
No,
we want this to be our tier 8, if possible. This is 0% reroll, and we know also that
Melee Void is 0 reroll on a mace.
Oh, on a mace is 0? Well, interesting, So that's actually good for us.
So yeah, so this is actually a really good imprint.
This is really fucking good, because you're telling me this is 0% reroll. We know this is also 0% reroll, and we can craft, for example, reduce crits, which we know it's 0% reroll, right?
0 reroll.
Right? So now this item, everything is a 0% reroll. So ideally now we want a tier 7, and one of these has to be a tier 7 too. So we're gonna we don't really care which one it is, because this is good, this is good, this is good, and this one has to be. We could also do tier 2, but it doesn't really matter, right? So we're gonna do Rune of Havoc here, and now we're giga happy, right? Because the reduced is good, but if I want to be extra safe, right, I'm gonna reroll again, because the cold damage is actually, if I get this as tier 8, does cold damage have reroll on mace?
It's 30% reroll on mace.
So we don't want this. We don't want this as a tier 7, and our evolution rune could ruin this, right? So we're gonna shuffle again. Unlucky. We're gonna shuffle again. Unlucky. We're gonna shuffle again. Now we're kind of happy. We have to do. We have to do evolution. Any of this is perfect for evolution, right?
Yeah, we could evolution. I would actually Havoc again here.
Yeah, probably, but
Yeah.
You have, obviously, with these things, you always have different cases, right? Cold damage again, unlucky. Okay, this is actually perfect now, right? Absolute perfect.
That's perfect. Yeah, this is perfect.
Right?
So now we
do
Rune of Evolution and Imprint.
Boom.
And Forging Potential matters a little bit,
Yeah.
but less than you would think.
And now I have a tier 8 sealed with 0% reroll. I have this with 0% reroll. So these are basically always proccing my double tier 7s. And now if I wanted to influence what affix is going to be on the item, I could now craft something without a reroll chance. Like, let's just say I wanted attack speed, right? And I could craft it on my prefix, for example, as a last step, right? Or I could just imprint like that.
To make it easier to havoc, either one.
Exactly.
Whatever you think is going to be better.
But now, if I imprint this item basically right now is like what? 14% chance of proccing an imprint, a bit less because of the fortune potential, but probably close to like 12.
Yeah. Well, it's actually, the fortune potential matters much less than you might think. So it might be like 13, 12 and a half. At 35% forging, or 35 forging potential, this is 14% of whatever the base chance is. I have no idea. And then we lose like 5 or 10% multiplicative off that. So what is that, like 12 and a half, 13%, somewhere in there, imprint procs? It's a pretty good imprint. Like, you're very happy with this item.
Yeah. But exactly, we had a prefix and a suffix, so that they're not fighting each other. It's not breaking the item. Because remember, if you have 2 prefixes or 2 suffixes, the fucking imprint system doesn't like that for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
So, and imagine I was playing something with a mace. I don't know, I'm playing like Boulder's Rat build, or I'm playing like with Event Horizon, whatever the fuck build you're playing, you have a 2LP one. This would be the way to progress, right? So, yeah. And for example, if you have 2 tier 7s and a tier 6, you have to be careful because in theory, your chances might be overall better of having higher tiers, but it's also going to make the crafting harder because keep in mind, you want to be able to add whatever fucking prefix you want, so then you can havoc like into the double tier 7 you actually care about, right? And you want to have enough low tier, low affixes on the other stuff, so you can use Runes of Havoc, Runes of Redemption, blah blah blah, and actually make the item into something good, right? When it procs.
Exactly. So you'd prefer to not have tier 6s ever on your imprints. It just makes the crafting too hard.
Yeah, it makes the crafting harder, basically. So this is basically the perfect scenario for an imprint.
Well, thanks for letting us dip into your stash of crafting materials to make the little example video. I think this will help people a lot.
Yep. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, I guess, and I hope also EAG takes a look at this, and instead of like buffing the system without fixing the system, they actually take a look into it and make it fun and intuitive. Because we wouldn't need to make this video in an ideal world, right? I think.
Correct.
So yeah, hopefully that helps and EAG looks at it.
All right, well, thanks for hopping on Discord. I'm going to sign off now. It was good to talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thanks for the input and the tips and all the help these days. Because
everything you've helped me out with, I'll be hanging out.
Yeah, see ya. Bye-bye. Okay, giga insane video, no? Pretty good, I think, no? Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, back to the music. It's 0% reroll chance of bust. I mean, it's not horrible, but I mean, if you have any reroll chance, you take that chance and you take it out of your items. You're losing that percentage of items, you're losing them. Double tier 7, they're gone. Completely gone, right? And for example, if we go back and we take a look at this dude, right? For example, let's take a look at this weapon, right? He has a cavalry sword. What is cavalry sword? Is one weapon, one-handed, no? Okay, one-handed sword, right? Oops. We take a look at the sword. And keep in mind, he's not even using tier 8s, right? And he has overtime, right, I think? Okay, so that's a 30% reroll right there, right? On this item. Then we have mana and something else. 50% reroll chance. 50, right? Percent reroll chance. And then he has Fistpen. And he doesn't even have a sealed affix, so it's just fucked, you know? That item is never proccing, basically. No. Basically, how it works is each affix rolls, especially for the sealed thing. Basically, it takes a look at the slot, and then it goes, okay, is this affecting the imprint, yes or no? And depending on the affix type, it rerolls the tier, right? Like if you roll out of the percentage here, it just rolls something completely new. It ignores the original imprint. Right, and it would take like the imprint. We take a look at the sheet, right? What are you imprinting? Five, 5, 7, 7. 0 reroll chance, 0 reroll chance. And 60% versus 40%. Yeah, but you only have 1.7k chance. Right? It matters just less, but look at this. This is 1.768. Right? So if we go here, so he's getting compare it to single tier 7 with tier 8, right? Single tier 7 with tier 8, 4.2. You know? Yeah, it's but you wanna, like, you always wanna have a tier 8, right? So if you don't have a tier 8 with if you're not sealing, it's already going lower, you know? Do we want the formula? I mean, it would be sick if on Tank Labs you just had a simulator. Like, imagine you just go into Tank Labs, right? You go into Tank Labs and how is it called? You go into Tank Labs. You go into fucking this simulator. You put the affixes, 222. It looks as it, and it just tells you this is the chance. You know. That would be pretty easy to do, I guess. Any link to this? It would be good to get more information about this. Well, it is less procs with the reroll chances. Not a lot, but it is a bit. So realistic, we need Bina to remake his entire file there? No. From what I gather, the procedure for farming heroes looks at the affix. It looks at. I mean, it's just like, why would you go over getting a triple tier 7 bullshit, which is gonna be way harder to craft? It's gonna have to roll 3 different affixes for you to get something lucky, or you can just make a single tier 7, single tier 8, and get like the fucking maximum proc chance, which is the 4 point something, no? Like, look at this. An item like this is so fucking easy to get. So easy to get an item like this. 4.299. And you can actually craft on it super easy. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know how much int is on Helmet, but because he's doing int, right? Helmet. Okay, never mind, it's fine. So that's like a perfect case scenario, basically, no? But he has tier 7, tier 6, tier 7. Like, this tier 6 is basically not doing anything, right? Basically. Do we have the data for tier 7, tier 6, tier 7? We don't. We don't. Well, that's sad. But you can imagine it's gonna be a big jump. I mean, look at this. Tier 6. 32 tier 7s. It would be very interesting to have tier 7. This chest is pretty Gucci. I mean, the tier 6 is not doing anything. I would probably craft. You have so much potential. I would probably craft something that you want on the prefix. Percent mana or something, or I don't know what you're using, but or Warpath or something. It's pretty good, yeah. But we know this one is definitely, this is not doing anything, basically. Like, this is basically a double tier 7, right? So if we take a look at this, and he is what? 1 prefix, 1 suffix, right? Where is it? We don't have it? Oh, we don't have this. How the fuck we don't have this? This is a very... No? Do we have it? There's no way we don't have this, no? How don't we have 1 tier 7, 1 tier, like, prefix suffix? That's interesting, actually. But look, tier 1, 777. It's 2k on 10k tries. Mage Exalted Helmet. How don't we have prefix and suffix on tier 7? There's no way, no? Oh, look, this would be so beautiful. Tier 7 plus tier 7 suffix plus tier 8 suffix, 5.9. But it would be harder to craft though. Unless the affixes are the ones you want on the Exalted. I'll grab the video and edit it out to make it like more concise and go to straight to the point. .166. I can't believe we don't have tier 1 prefix, 1 suffix. But I mean, looking at this, the difference is massive. And tier 6s are basically never do tier 6s, basically. Tier 6s don't do anything for tier 7s at all. I actually made few very good imprints before tech was fully explained. Yeah. It would be good if this gets a bit more extended, because I feel like we're lacking a lot of very basic things, no? Yeah, I mean, this is Giga now, you know? And then you get the tier 7 HP and the tier 8 mana. Like, you will basically, the chances of you getting an item with tier 7 health and tier 8 mana are so high now with this. Especially with this and this, you know? Like, the chances of you getting tier 7 health with tier 7 mana on this are like 14% now, basically. You know? Like, this is like a Giga one. He's not using that one. He's doing the gloves again. So the gloves are not as bad, but the weapon is basically dog shit. But what is he doing though? Dodge, increased area, and increased melee. How is he gonna turn this into something good? Like you're better off with a single tier 7 and a tier 8, so you have more control. What gloves is he wearing? Is he Falcon Fisting? Like, I mean... Huh? If he wants to get this, that imprint is like... Doesn't, like... If this is what he's aiming for... Absolute tragedy, basically. But... Look at the difference. That's actually crazy. But yeah, we'll keep digging into this, you know. It's very interesting, and I feel like it's still very what is it called? Very still very unexplored, because there's so many case scenarios that we don't have data for it, or that haven't been data mined properly, right? But for example, look at this item. How easy it would be to make a good imprint out of this now? Health is 0% reroll chance, right? Like, for example, with this item, I can already make a better imprint than his gloves, no? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it. What do we want? Let's see. On gloves. We want... Let's see minion damage, if we care about this or no. Okay, minion damage is 0 reroll. Absolute god tier, right? Health is 0 reroll. There's 0 reroll. And then what else? What else does it have? Where are they? Where the fuck are they? Okay, here. Leech rate. I think leech rate is bad because it's rare. 0.2 is not horrible. I mean, who cares? It's not exalted, right? And what do I craft now? I want mana, maybe? My mana. Now I do Rune of Evolution. I get the health, which is kind of giga. And then I'm pretty sure that's it, no? That's my item. Isn't this item just giga now? Like, this item is just, like, absolutely disgusting, no? For the one that procs on completion. Yeah, I'd rather have weapon on the other, because I'm in more need for weapon. Let's see if I can get a good pair of boots. I don't think I can, actually. Tier 6. Tier 6 is not bueno, as you guys know. 0 potential, unfortunately. I think I used all the boots already. I will need boots eventually, but... Where the fuck are the boots? I don't have a single one. Oh, I do. Nope. No potential. I'll pay attention to the boots. These were almost good, but... We said that that's bad. Beautiful. Frozen literally says in the bit that normal affix's reroll chance will reroll the affix itself, but tier remains. Yeah, it's for the but the thing is, like, for example, on the item I did, right, on the gloves, I don't want to reroll the item type because I want HP and I want mana, right? The HP is good, and ideally here actually, if I would Havoc into the mana, it would be even better, no? But whatever, it's not that big of a deal. I'd rather have the FP for a bit. Let's see if it procs, actually. If the affix is sealed, that would be the case, no, Potato? That's my understanding, at least. And you want to have a tier 8 because tier 8 has more chance than tier 7. So you're aiming for a tier 8, and because the tier 8 would be sealed, you want to make sure that whatever you seal is not high rerollable. That's my understanding. Yeah, the tier 8 matters, the regular seal matters, right? For the affix type. But you want to have tier 8, so it matters, basically, right? And it does matter if you actually care about the affix you won. Like, for example, if you won tier 7 crit on your weapon, right? It is easier to not get tier 7 crit, leave an open prefix, craft the tier 7 crit, and then use Havoc into it. That's my understanding. I mean, that's what I said on the video, basically, right? You also care about the crafting after the proc, no? According to the what is it called? The thingy if the item is tier 7 and it's on a regular slot, it doesn't really care about the reroll chance based on the data on Frozen Sentinel thingy. I mean, according to the data, right? Because the chances, like, the difference is, like, it could be literally just to the simulation, honestly. No? The question is how, but we know that at tier 8, if you only have 2 tier 7s, making it a tier 8, if it's a 0 reroll chance affix, it like doubles the imprint proc, no? Based on the stat, because if you have 2 tier 7s, actually it more than doubles, no? Because if you check double tier 7s, the proc chance is like, what, like 1.7 out of 20k or something, no? But if you do a tier 8 and tier 7, then the proc chance is 4.2k with a 0% reroll. So you definitely don't want to be imprinting double tier 7s. You definitely don't want anything with tier 6s, right? And you definitely don't want anything rerollable as your tier 8, right? That's for sure. Correct? Everyone agrees with that now? If you have Bina songs, does this increase the proc rates? Yes. I need to make an imprint song. I will need to. But for example, when making this axe, it still matters. Sorry, when making the mace, for example, we made, right? Where's the mace? This mace. It was still very important to make sure both affixes were 0% reroll, because you don't know which one you're gonna evolution. So on the process of crafting, you still want to have affixes with 0% reroll chance, because you don't know what you're gonna get as a tier 8, right, when you evolution. Because for example, in the current imprint I have, I actually got unlucky here, right? If I would have tier 8 the stun chance, my imprints would be happening way more often, because the cold damage actually has a reroll chance, and the stun chance doesn't, right? So I actually got screwed by the melee cold there. Where has Bina been? I think his daughter is sick. So he's being a dad. Yeah, exactly. It still matters when making the tier 8 thingy. I'll still upload that most likely. I think Bina is just taking care of his daughter. Now Bina is sick. We have the gloves now, which should be proccing like crazy. So we'll see what we make out of what gloves we make. They proc on finishing objective, so I don't get why you need a tier 8, because tier 8 makes it more likely for a tier 7 to happen. That's why you need a tier 8. On a seal, just basically. Like, if you take a look at the stat sheet, having a tier 8 more than doubles your chance for that affix to be a tier 7. Yeah, I could do that. Sepulchre of the Lost. I think I have a few. And why is that the case? I don't know, but it's what the meta, like the data mining is telling us, right? The tier 8s are Giga, basically. Why does it work like that? Why did the devs decide to make it like that? Who the fuck knows? But that's how it works. Why do I feel like it? You're probably right, Potato. It's probably like some sort of like there's some formula. And you know how, like, for example, when you go to Tanglabs, every item has like a tier 8 roll, built-in scaling, but not all affixes can be tier 8. Like, because you can't use like runes on them or whatever. It's probably some sort of like leftover code bullshit that, like, they normalized the formula, and then tier 8s got like tier 8s didn't even exist when like when imprints existed. So when they added tier 8s, the tier 8s probably just like overscaled on the system, right? But it does make sense, right? If each tier of an item makes the next tier more likely, it makes complete sense that tier 8, I mean tier 8 is more than tier 7, so like tier 6s can't roll tier 7s, tier 7s can roll tier 7s and tier 6s, right? Tier 8s, you can't roll tier 8s, so you're just gonna roll tier 7s, no? It can, I mean, it does make sense. If it's like some sort of like a babushka kind of doll system where the bigger the better, right? Yeah, you cannot get tier 8s from the imprint itself, right? So but it definitely seems like the tier 8 rolls higher, right? Hobby partner, thank you. I appreciate it. Which one is the one that completes Sepulchre of the Lost? His rewards? We'll do them. But a loss with folly, brother. Has anyone wondered about the first epoch? That's me. I am the first epoch. Sepulchre Ripping? I mean, for my character, no. Just like any tomb. I think the one that is Rippy is the other one, this one. This one. Xenopath. Xenopath is Rippy. Because of the final boss bullshit. We'll do the sepulchers now and see if the gloves proc. Are these good Ember? No, I'm making Ember here. So I make Ember, then I imprint, then I make Ember, then I... this is good for everything though. The chill map. This is Warpath. Beep. Fast tempo better? I think they're pretty similar. It lost with Folly. Fast tempo is faster though, and more fun. But the other one gives you... You can guarantee the Nemesis spawn and stuff, so it's kind of nice. That's my favorite thing about it, honestly, that you can guarantee the Nem. One more. The summer is magic, you have to imagine. My Amber brother. Pim 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 pim. Yoo-hoo! Windows update bricked my STD. But did my PC curse you somehow? Like telepathically or something? Um, oh, MML Illuminati confirmed, you know? I'll kill the beast. We're gonna need this. I'll do the Nemesis too. We're gonna get some pretty good fucking Necro Idols. Omen's Bale. Yoo-hoo! It's Ember time. What's the minimum corruption for the RPC favor farm? You mean like getting your value back? Or what are we talking about here? What do you mean? There's lots with folly. Okay, we're gonna do the shitty cemetery things too. You should not farm favor at 100 corruption, no. Are we talking about the Omen's Bale, like a loop? You can do Omen's Bale at 100 corruption, and you still get. I think it's still self-sustained based on what Potato said. I'm not an expert, no. Rune Prison Complex. I mean, if you want fast leveling, I would say you can do Rune Prison Complex the moment, like, until level 90 or something at 100 corruption, and you still level like crazy. Like 90 something. But then I would go higher. If you just want favor. Is there any particular reason why you're not doing higher corruption? Are you playing hardcore or? Because if you're playing softcore, just do 300, you know? I feel like you shouldn't be focusing on favor then. You have all your blessings and all that shit. Don't try to run before you're walking, you know? But yeah, I mean, at 100 corruption, if you don't want to die, it's still gonna be the most favor you're gonna make, you know, so. Especially if you can activate them all at once, since it's low corruption. But I would try to get at least 200, because it's like a big, like, from 100 to 200 is like fucking huge jump, you know, it almost doubles. Well, it doubles, straight up. Beep 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 bum. Beep 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 bum. Beam. I just wanna know the secret in your eyes. Okay, we want to use Xenopad, no? No, Sepulcher. We want to put the Sepulchers here, like surrounded by like 5 or whatever. So you get the 5 procs. Some of us have no reward, yeah. Some most do though. I'm not gonna go too crazy on it, you know.
You have my approval.
Think Web could be a bit bigger?
Oh shit, that one's far away. Well. This one's good. Right, good. I think I go this way. Fuck. I need to reset this. Dun-dun-dun. Sepulchre here would have been nice. Okay, we need that rope there. Fuck. Okay, that's good. Nice, that's perfect. Okay, good. So sepulchers can do something fast. A tower. Okay. Enjoy my devo. Thank you, thank you. New poll. Think your web could be a bit bigger. It could be. Can you guys sorry. Do you guys link it? Oh shit. Oh, 12p, nice. I have so many now though. We'll do the poll. I forgot to craft a Farsight turtle, whatever. Or commitment to quality, surely. Of course, of course. What? I can be fucked then. Okay, let's take a look at the insane. Okay, let's see. Hello, travelers. At 11-hour games, our goal has always been to deliver the best RPG experience to our players. The commitment goes beyond future content, blah, blah, your feedback is great, blah, blah. The player experience team exists to ensure that your voice is not only heard, but meaningfully represented in our development. Okay, for sure, for sure. By translating community feedback into actual whatever the fuck, yeah. A part of broader initiative to strengthen quality of our development, we're introducing a new quality poll campaign. Over the coming weeks, we'll be sharing a series of focused weekly polls. Which one is centered on a specific area of activity that affects your player experience. These polls are designed to give more insight. Okay. I have one argument against this. I have one objection. One. That's my concern. You know? Okay, let's see. Skill and passives, combats, items, UI, audio. Okay. I mean, I have some feedback on this, let me tell you. Okay. What impacts your experience? I mean, do I even have to? Is this even like are they even serious? Like do you need a poll for this? Isn't this the same? Oh my god. See, I told you, man, the people are retarded. What? You can choose two? Okay. Can I redo it? No! Oh, I can vote, I can vote. I guess these two are the same, no? So. Okay, how often do skill or passives impact your... How often do skills or passive issues impact your experience? I mean, let's be honest here. That's it? That's my poll? Bro. Who are you? Who are these people? I see your names. Cyborg! You're in CT, brother! What? Okay. I'm done. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, I'll go to the point where, like, I would be scared of making, like, a starter build for an ability that I haven't played. Because things don't work. That's how much it impacts me. That was a hype survey, I agree. I mean, compared to the PoE 2 announcement today, I mean, they have nothing on us, pretty much. And dude, in the scaling issues thingy, when it's PoE, it's like in 4 hours. I won't be here. I'll react to it tomorrow on stream. I'm able to stream tomorrow. I don't go to work, so. Bro, and then on the fucking feedback about skills, it's like, oh, you can't get enough damage, blah, blah. It's the opposite. Like, skills have problems where they give to some... I think we have more problems of skills getting too much damage, not the other way around. You know? And people are voting, we don't get enough damage, you know? Like, what? I feel like I think right now I honestly sure we have some issues with like generator spenders and people trying to force generators into doing damage, sure. But I think if anything we have a problem with there's too much damage, no? Would you guys agree? There are some things that have to be buffed, don't get me wrong. But I think we have a problem with too much damage, not too little damage in the game. But I think they should have just set balance as a voting. Like, because I would have voted for a balance issue. I think balance is a problem. Not enough ailment damage, but I think that's not true. Especially now, they've been reworking a lot of the nodes to also work on ailments. In fact, the most damaging builds in the game, most of them are ailment builds, no? I would say. Like, and ailments are like crazy damage leveling, but you have so many good ailment builds now. You have fucking Time Rod, you have fucking crazy Ignite Pops, you have like, there's so much dot. You have a Frostbite, you can make anything Frostbite work. Anything. I feel. Anything bleed work, for that matter. And a lot of the top builds, I feel like, are just ailment builds. Like, fucking minion ailments apparently are out of control. I don't have enough experience with them to know. But, bro, the Necro Vitality node scaling seems absolutely crazy. Nerf Time Lord a bit, and what is a bit? Because I think... Obviously, I think what they're gonna do with Shield Rush is they're just gonna make it some of the nodes don't only work with hit damage. You know, so the cooldown node particularly. 40%? I think that's... If they also nerf Shield, I think it's fine. Because I think they have to nerf Time Lord as a whole. Because, I mean, they keep nerfing the abilities, but if they don't nerf the node, nothing's gonna change, right? Like... Another one. Let's see if this procs. What if your endgame planner is bad though? Weird since. What if your endgame planner has rampancy in it? And brutality, and just one-shot it, huh? Because I feel like, I'm pretty sure you can kill Uber in 30 seconds with any build on endgame planner now, if you just choose to do the stupidity scaling, like with Exulis bullshit in softcore, no? That's an issue. Like, what are they gonna do on that? Not on Warpath? I'm pretty sure you can do it on Warpath. By the way. I don't see why not. You do rampancy belt with the fucking weapon thingy. And you just, I mean, you're stuck. I have fucking 100 vitality, which would be rampancy bullshit, no? I'm pretty sure with that, I can like one-shot Uber Abaroth, basically, with the Warpath. Because Brutality doesn't work, but Rampancy does, so... And Warpath already does a shit ton of damage without it, right? So imagine with it. Do I think attribute conversion is to be looked at? I think the attribute I think attribute conversion is fine. It's just, for example, I think Madness is completely fine, you know? Because what it's giving you, like, it's good, but it's not like, it doesn't break anything, you know? Like 100 and 200 crit multi is not gonna make or break a build. The main issue, I think, is actually the main problem is Rampancy. Rampancy is the main issue. With the scaling with the belt, with the... Because Brutality, I mean, Brutality can get pretty stupid, but Brutality alone doesn't really break anything, in my opinion. I haven't seen like a build where you're only using Brutality and then the damage is retarded. I just haven't seen that. You can have Rampancy only builds that do insane damage. For example, if you play Rife or you play Harvest or you play any of these builds, they don't run Brutality, these builds. Like Rife doesn't Rife Brutality and kills Uber in like 20 seconds, you know. Harvest the same. Like you get, for example, Harvest, guys. Like the difference between Harvest Rampancy and Harvest non-Rampancy is like, if you play without Rampancy, it's 15 million DPS. 15 million, yeah? 15 million DPS. If you play with Rampancy, it's 300 million. That's the difference. Like I mean, to put it into perspective, from 15 million DPS, which is what we had last patch, to 300 million DPS, if you go for the Rampancy. And that build doesn't need Brutality at all, right? Because, I mean, Harvest is 0 mana cost, so... But to put it into perspective, how broken it is. I'm showing tier 7s, single tier 7s. No proc there. Fucking hell. Am I clicking? I think Brutality, for the most part, it gives what, like an 80% damage buff? Like if you're stacking like what? Like I think that's the most I've seen. Rampancy is 100% the problem. Yeah, Gil is not... Gil and Rampancy are not... They can be fixed somehow. But Rampancy is just retarded. I think what they need to do is they need to make Rampancy just Frenzy effect. And that's it. Don't make it give Frenzy effect, make it just give you attack speed and cast speed and that's it. Instead of effect. That way it doesn't work with the belt and then it's fine. And it would still be appealing, you know? Like attack Giga fast, boom boom boom, like, it would still be good. Apathy seems okay, yeah, apathy is okay. It has some uses, it's not necessarily stupid. The downside can be mitigated pretty well if you have lifesteal or you're low life or whatever. I think apathy is pretty good. And it's to a power level where, like, in some builds you want to go apathy, but it doesn't feel like, oh, if I go apathy, I triple my damage. Like, or I 20x my damage. Like, I think when there's decisions that say, if I do this, I 20x my damage, like, it's not like, what? Like... So I think Madness is fine. I think Apathy is fine. I think Gil is kind of fine. I think Madness is completely fine. A fucking spell crit multi, you get 200 int, 200 spell, like, it's like getting a tier 7 corruption, like, you know, like, on your weapon. Who cares, like... let people be strong, but again, like 100 and 200 crit multi is not gonna break a build. It's not gonna make you do 20x damage, you know, it's not even gonna, it's not gonna do anything. It's gonna give you like some damage, and a lot of the builds that do Madness already have some crit multi to begin with, right? So it's not even like a, might give you like a 30% damage increase or something, you know, but... And you have to invest in intelligence and blah blah, right? And you lose your defenses for it, so... Like your water attention. I think Madness is fine. It's powerful, but it's okay powerful. But Rampancy is the real problem. And if you can use Rampancy and Brutality, if you take off the Rampancy, the build would not do damage. Like 80% of the power is coming from the Rampancy, not the Brutality. Like, again, I haven't seen a single build that only uses Brutality that the damage is like, okay, like what the fuck is this? Personally. Why is this not showing? What? Isn't it supposed to shine? Why is this not showing? What? Is that is showing on my ult, or? Like, again, if someone shows me a build where only Rampancy is like breaking the build, where it goes like, if you were not using Rampancy, your damage would like, you would do 20x less damage or whatever. Like, I'll be like, okay, maybe I was wrong, but I haven't seen that, and I've been scouting quite a bit. Even the builds that they like show as like, oh my god, it's Rampancy build broken, like for Brutality build broken. Like, for example, if you do like the, like for example, the Shatter Totem build, which I think is the most prominent Brutality only build. Bro, in that build, like Brutality doesn't even give you that much, and you lose a lot for it. In fact, we don't even recommend doing Brutality on our version, and we heavily tested, you know. So, but if you're doing like a CHP one-shot thingy and you have Rampancy on top of it, Brutality like Giga breaks it, because, you know, like it's a build that is giving you 20x damage with the Rampancy, and then Brutality doubles that, so Brutality makes you do like 40x, because fucking Rampancy was already giving you 20x, right? If you didn't have Rampancy, Brutality would only give you like a 50% increase or something. It's just like an 80 more multi. Like, it's not gonna make or break the build that. Especially because Rampancy price to pay is pretty big. Sorry, a Brutality. And Rampancy, for example, price to pay is absolutely nothing. Especially with the amulet, right? I think it's a bit stupid. So if it was for me, I would say just Giga change Rampancy and see how it goes. Like, I wouldn't really nerf the other ones until we see. That's my imprint, brother. That's my imprint. This was Nemesis. Yeah, the frenzy belt is working. Interaction. I mean, that frenzy belt is absolutely. I think that belt should also probably, if it's gonna stay like it is, even without a rampancy change, it should probably be a primordial. I feel. The fact that it's not a primordial is for the amount of power it gives, and it is primordial. Is it? I thought it wasn't. Are you guys sure? It is? Oh, okay, my bad. Oh yeah, it's Fangs of the Berserk you buy it, yeah. Oh, my bad. But they need to absolutely change the interaction though. And the fucking you take more damage, like fucking hell, get away with those mechanics, man. Like softcore mechanics, man. Ugh. I'm softcore. No, it's fine to play in softcore. I just don't like the softcore mechanics. You know, make softcore only. You're converting? Good. We're doing God's work here. I need to eat something. Oh, Nemesis. Forge Guard. The only thing I would change to Forge Guard, in my opinion, I think the ability snips buffs. I think the passive tree is fine, but I think they need to give it haste. Like, I think it's a stupid, like, this thematic non-haste bullshit. Like, if anything, it's the, like... Smelter's Wrath? Smelter's Wrath is a good, it's a good ability. It needs very, very small changes to be Giga. And I know because I played it, and I've killed Uber with it too. Very, very, very small changes to make that ability absolutely Giga. Actually, I might revisit Smelter's Wrath, because I think this patch, Smelter's Wrath got buffed like crazy. Without even... Because Smelter's Wrath is a build that uses a bunch of 1LP items. Like you use Event Horizon, for example, if you want, or Titan Femur and things like that. But I think Forge Guard, again, the haste thing is just absolutely dog shit. I think the bottom of the tree is still kind of Monka, honestly. I don't really like the bottom of I think the top of the tree is fine, but the bottom of the tree is like... How many times you're like, okay, like, I want to be a Forge Guard, but none of these points do anything for my build. Like, I guess I just go Strength, I don't know. Oh, this Forged Weapons is really good. Really, really good. Really good. Manifest Armor is absolutely broken. Manifest Weapons are absolutely broken. They're just, like, not super popular, you know. The main issue you have is, like... Smelter's Wrath needs a bit of help. Just a bit. I guarantee you, if Smelter's Wrath got a bit of help, just a bit of help, it would be actually pretty good ability. It needs a meteor treatment, basically. The biggest problem you have with Smelter's Wrath, in my opinion, is that there is a node that makes you do more damage on ignites on the enemy or whatever the fuck. And the problem is, like, by default, getting the ignite on the enemy while you're channeling is really hard. So, for example, on Uber, like, I have damage to kill Uber faster. The problem is, like, in order to do my damage, you know, I'm fucking channeling. I'm getting fucking frailty stacks on my ass, you know? So if you're gonna make me channel there, you can't just like, oh well, 20 stacks of frailty on you, I guess. Hee. But I have a Smelter's Wrath. Like, I have my fucking Smelter's Wrath is fucking absolute giga character. I can show you, actually. You guys want to see my smelters? My smelters? Look at this motherfucker. Look at this motherfucker. I need to wear my gear stuff. I played this guy last season. I did character found, and the guy was an absolute giga chat. I can use my stuff now. Look at this guy. Holy. Look at this giga chat. Look at this 6.6k HP giga chat. And this is before Giga Good Gear existed, you know? Holy. Look at this giga chat. Imagine this with corruptions now. Holy fuck. Goes hard. Look at me. And I remember with this guy I was doing on hardcore, I was farming the mage thingy. Brother, this character is the best mage farmer in the fucking universe. I am literally immortal. Let's see if I have it set up. Room Prison Complex, I have it. Without as you guys see, this guy at 500 corruption farms like 300k favor an hour. I don't remember how to play it though. So Ooh. Boom! I don't take damage. Like, I am literally immortal. Imagine if I had haste. Holy. Look. Boom! Boom! Like, what build can do this? I'm being serious. And I did this on hardcore. Like, this character didn't die until Uber. Look, look, look. Boom! Look, look. Here. Boom. Here. Boom. That's it. That's my Room Prison Complex. How long it took? Like, how long it took? I died in an arena push versus died Apophis, with the bucked Apophis, and then I died to Uber like 200 times. But I haven't died outside of that with this character at all. Like, I'm like literally immortal. I love the spinning while channeling. Yeah, you gotta show them, show your supremacy. But look at me. Giga. And again, this character farms favor. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I did chrono it. I was farming 300k favor an hour at 500 corruption hardcore. It's Smelter's Wrath. Bonk. Bonk. How long are these room prison complex at 500C? Like, and I'm literally immortal no matter what. Like, I know that for a fact because I like pulled the entire map before and shit, you know. Bonk. Absolute cinema. Look at my defenses while channeling, okay? I am the Giga Chat. Like, it's good. And again, my gear is, I mean, it could be much better. Like, look, my gear is like pretty, like, I played this on character found. Like, some stuff is okay. Obviously, this is retarded, right? But the gear is nothing too crazy. Like, it's nothing too crazy. But how cool is this? What's the command? 2LP, no? I have two 2LPs. But for example, what they need to buff on this ability is very, 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 very simple. I think the functionality of scaling with area... where is it? The area stuff. This node... Where is it? No, where is it the one... it's by default, no? No, fuck, I'm not in the... this one. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Increased area for area skills, stats, increased Smelter Shroud charge speed. Why the fuck it doesn't work with this? It doesn't work with this. It doesn't work with area with melee skills. It's only area with area skills. But it doesn't work with area with melee skills. Like, if they fix that already, it's so giga. If they fix that. Like, that alone would be huge. It only works with area skills. It doesn't work with area with melee area skills. Even though it's a melee skill. So, they fix that, and number one... It's like insane quality of life, insane power in the tree. Like, it's really good. Then, they need to fix the fucking damage on Ignite bullshit. Where is it? To be honest, it could be a circle by default too. But where is it? The Ignite node. This one. More hit damage per Ignite stack, right? More hit damage per Ignite stack. Smelter Shroud hits damage per ignited stack on the enemy up to 150. So you won, obviously, you know, whatever, 10 Ignite stacks, right? You want 10 Ignite stacks. The problem is, like, you go hit the dummy, you know? The first thing is, like, okay, let's just say I'm just playing normally, right? I'm just playing normally. Okay, so if I wanna ignite this, if I just do this, where is the ignites? No ignites. Okay, now I ignite. And this thing is giving me 6. Right? It's like, okay, let me do one thing. And now I do another thing, right? 5. By the time my fucking thing goes off, the ignites are all gone. And then you have this node here, right? Smelter Shroud hits have a chance to ignite enemies for each second channeled. This works after the hit. How is this not enemies have a chance to get ignited while channeling? Why is this after, you know? So, you know, so this is supposed to be a one-shot thingy, you know? And then it's like, okay, I can get ignite chance, which I actually get Ignite on my weapon, you can see, right? I actually have Ignite chance, right? So you actually have to fucking Vengeance, right? And I say, okay, I'm gonna Vengeance, so I get Ignites. Okay, so now I'm gonna Flame thingy. The fucking Ignites have expired, you know? So I think basically, if they make it, so this ability applies the Ignite you have per second, you know, and it has like some built-in Ignite duration or something, that's it, it's solved. Because imagine if my Ignite chance applied to surrounding, while doing this, it's applying. It's solved. It will be fine. If they do these two things to Smelter's Wrath, I promise you it's a good ability. Even if they keep the channeling, if they kill the build identity, and to be honest, I think they could buff the damage effectiveness, because, you know, fix the area thing and fix the Ignite thing, and it's completely fine. And again, you can apply Ignites, for example, with Forge weapons, right? But again, the problem is, like, when you're doing Uber, the Forge weapons fucking die, for example. So you don't have Forge weapons. And then, for example, if you're, let's just say you're doing Uber, you go this, and you start doing this, and then suddenly you have 20 frailty of Uber on you, and GG, you know? And keep in mind, I even have this thingy, like this thing that applies Ignites. Like, why the fuck do I have to play with this bullshit, you know? The burning patch bullshit. Why is this ignites all enemies who stand in twice per second? Like, brother. And then I have, they giga buff this, like, a health regen per forge weapon bullshit, and you have the ignite chance per forge weapon with melee fire for sure. If you get this while mapping, the problem is this set doesn't work on Uber, but I think I had it on my character. I had 2 weapons. If you get the melee fire damage, like, because this is before Ancestrals too, this character. Bro, you get this weapon with this Ancestral Affix. Bro, you get the Ancestral Affix. The amount of damage this build is doing, you don't want to imagine. Like, you don't want to imagine. Because I'm pretty sure, how much is this Affix in Ancestral? Because keep in mind, this is before Primordial, Ancestral, whatever. I played this on Season 2, right? So it didn't exist yet. But if I do... affixes, reforged, forge weapon, whatever, forge. What is it called? Sunwrath. This one, brother. Bro. Look at this fucker. It's 30 flat damage per forge weapon. 30 flat damage per forge weapon on an ability that has 600% effectiveness. The problem is the fucking forge weapons die, you know? And you can get a lot of them, right? A lot of them. I was even considering using the 3-set piece. Like, so again, it's like, the thing is, like, people say, oh, buff Smelter's Wrath, but most people haven't even played Smelter's Wrath. They don't even know why it's bad, right? And I guarantee you, this ability, like, this build is better than the 99% of builds you see on Last Epoch tools. I'm not even trolling. Like, it's a pretty, except for Uber, it's actually good build. Like, I'm not trolling. No. I think it's very close to good. You just need some very, very small adjustments. I think Forge Strike is much worse, for example. I think Forge Strike is much worse. I think all of this should be part of the tree. Because, for example, on Uber, I didn't even spec this. But if you go for the match Forge weapons and all that, I think Forge Strike has bigger problems. Like, the fact that, like, half of it is defense. Like, what the fuck is this, right? Then you have, like... I grabbed this point just so it's faster, brother. Because by default it's so slow that... So, and I need to do boom, boom, boom. So then I do my fucking... You know, I do my thingy. I do my thingy, boom, boom. You do 2, and then you do this for the giga damage. So you get the stacks, right? But the problem is it's hard to do that on Uber. But it's 21 million right there. 21 million hit. But the problem is, like, on Uber, you can't apply all these buffs. And look, I apply insta shred, like, but when you're bossing against like regular bosses, it's like giga. You got the 20 stacks, boom, boom. Not bad. Fucking forge weapon bullshit, you know? But there is a bit of clank too. Like, if you want to max damage, you want to have the riposte up and all the... But imagine if this build also had haste. Because this fucking shit, man. What is this, brother? Why? 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 And not only that. Bro, why less damage? Why are you fucking me in the ass? Where does Paladin get fucked in the ass? You know? I don't see any less anything. Oh, less dodge. Oh my god, what am I gonna do without my dodge Paladin? Oh my god. What? Unplayable. And it's 30% anyway. It's not even you can't dodge. My brother, like this, what is this? Like, what is this? And then the bottom of the tree, I think these points are kind of, what is this, brother? Some of these points are kind of weak, but I think all of this is good. This point is potentially the most OP fucking shit in the game, you know? Like, this is OP as fuck, but it's just hard to make a build around it. The less fire damage from overcarried fire res, absolutely OP. The amulet that converts warfare, yeah, of course, you go all the conversion stuff to fire. If they ever make like a boss that is like heavy fire, this guy's gonna be like immune to it. This point is fucking, look at this, bro. 15%, like, it has some good points. Some good points, you know? This point is fucking giga when you double thingy. You get the frailty chance for free, and you get the fucking reduced damage taken for free, and then you get, on top of that, you get the strength per 200 weapon. Holy fuck, man, this note is nice, you know? I don't know. And then I just think they're trying it to, like, I would just remove the throwing stuff, honestly. Like, what is this throwing stuff on Forge Card, brother? Like, make Paladin the throwing spell guy, you know? What is this throwing shit, you know? Or to be honest, make these notes work for both, like weapons of choice, you know? Why can't this be both, you know? Would it break the game if this is just melee and throwing crit multi? Like, what? Why different? And make something cool here. And fucking no haste, like, fuck, no haste is like when, bro, the entire meta of the game is clear speed, and like, it's just like, this is just a death sentence, you know? Like, the best thing of the only unique thing of the class makes the class not appealing. But aside from the, like, you change these 3 small things, and Forge Card is giga. And I guarantee you, if you do like a rampancy, Smelter's Wrath, brutality bullshit, I guarantee you this ability one-shots Uber. I guarantee you. You one-shot Uber. I guarantee you can one-shot Uber with Smelter's Wrath, full brutality, full rampancy. You one-shot Uber. One-shot it. Like, you do your, you go in there with your weapons, you forge strike, and you boop, and you one-shot it. I guarantee you. Guarantee you. And now, bro, like with the corruptions and stuff, holy man. Getting even more strength. No, not that, but Void Cliff can one-shot it, Misha. What are you talking about? Of course you can. You can get yourself fucking 1 bajillion effect of rampancy bullshit and like get 20x the damage. In this patch? Yes, in this patch. Of course. Like if Void Clip can't do it, imagine Smelter's Wrath, which does way more damage. Right? Belt abuse? Yeah. The Frenzy Belt, rampancy stacking bullshit. Like softcore bullshit. Really crazy. We have it on some builds in Maxroll, but I think it's gonna get fixed. But it should get fixed, otherwise the next season is absolutely fucked. Like for example, that build, I'm full tank, right, on that build, because I'm full HP on the build I just showed you. And I'm doing 20 million crits, right? 20 million crits without Throne of Ambition stacked. If I do 20 million crits, and I go Rampancy, which I can stack, right? Just go Vitality, blah, blah, blah. That probably doubles my, like, that probably gives me 20x DPS, right? So those 20 million now, well, it's not 20 million anymore, it's 20 times 20 million, right? Which is 400 million, right? And then I can double that with Brutality. So now it's 800 million. Uber is one shot. Uber is one shot. Why people don't do rampancy stacking and more mana on Warpath on Aspirational? I mean, it's a softcore thing. Like, if you wanna one-shot Uber, you can do it for sure. Apparently, the Infinite Spreading Atlas stays. Log out. That's all I'm gonna say. Log out. I'll play the campaign then, and that's it. If that's the case, log out. Like, if they're only adding mechanics and the Atlas doesn't get mechanical changes, log out. How do we know? Maybe they have said something on Reddit or on a stream or something. Insider's job? Oh shit. Do they have testers on PoE2? Like some community members like Neversink or whatever? Because I know they have some people under heavy NDA on. Strange seeing me stream this late, it's true. I'm having fun. Still having fun with the season. I have to leave in like 1 hour, so. Good. Cross down. You're watching Sharknado 1 right now. I am playing Sharknado. How do I feel about it as a movie director? I think it achieved what it wanted, no? I think it's a pretty successful movie. Pretty successful product. It's a parody, you know. Hard to take it serious, but I think it's funny. I think when you have movies that are like kind of shit, but they don't pretend to be something else, it's fine, you know. I think it's pretty fun. Oh, my imprint, man, what? Between Human Centipede and Charnado, which one is better? Well, Human Centipede is not trying to be a parody, no? Human Centipede is pretty serious. I don't know, they're so different. I don't even know how to compare them. I think they're both very successful on what they try to do. Room is boring as fuck, but the Room is not trying to be a parody. The Room is just bad. But people make fun of it, not with it, right? That's the problem. I think even the reboot, I think the reboot was kind of, well, what they did with James Franco and whatever the fuck. I thought that was pretty weird. Because you could clearly, like, I don't know, it felt like they were laughing at him, not with him. And the guy was kind of desperate for attention, so he played along. I don't know, it felt kind of, I don't know. Who the fuck do I know, right? I don't know. But that's the feeling I got. Fuck. Do you recommend any non-mainstream movies to watch that came out the 5-10 year window? Non-mainstream? Hidden gems. The thing is, like, most of the really good movies, they're not really hidden gems because people find out about them being good, no? I don't know. Have you seen The Hunt by Winterberg? With the Mats Mikkelsen guy? A movie I played a lot in school. Any more builds you have planned this season? I've planned a Rune Master. I don't know, I'm still having fun. I think I'm gonna play quite a lot more. What year again? I have no idea what year it is, but it's not that old. I think it's maybe 2010 or something. The Hunt, it's called. It's pretty famous. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Ah, there you go. That's one. Mm. But Frankenstein is not that bad. The new one by Del Toro didn't really do it for me, honestly. He didn't really do it for me. Is it the fewest bottom fast body minting the game? Yeah, most likely, yeah. It's 0 bottom, right? So. I'm reasoning that you don't watch movies anymore. Happens. People consume a lot of visual content, they just don't watch it like they used to. Like my students, a lot of my students who are studying cinema, they don't watch movies. They watch a lot of series, they consume a lot of like content and stuff, but movies, they haven't seen that many movies. Dude, the new trailer of the Odyssey, man. I'm kind of worried. Kind of worried about the Odyssey. So much expectation too. Kind of worried, kind of worried. I don't know. Smells bad. Being following your guides everywhere, as I saw a sure rent build, and I was wondering if you could explain the difference between that build that runs dash instead of explosive trap. The build that runs dash, it uses the recall node on Umbral Blades. It's like to one-shot the bosses. It's like worse mapping, but it does like crazy single target. It's just to one-shot bosses. That's zero expectation. I had giga expectations at the beginning when it first was announced, and every time I see a new trailer, I feel bad about it. Very overrated? I don't think it's giga overrated, but I think his latest work is definitely his worst work. If I had, like, for example, I think, and I wasn't a big fan of Tenet. I didn't, probably because I'm retarded. I hated the third Batman. Like, I thought it was bad, straight up. Especially compared to the first one and the second one, which the second one is absolutely god tier. I like Dunkirk. I like Dunkirk, so I like that one. Yeah, it's the bossing variant, yeah. The bossing variant. It's mainly for Uber. You don't really need it to kill Uber, but if you want to one-shot Uber and say like, hee, I one-shot Uber, you can do that. And Inception is one of the early ones, though. Like, I think I really like the Prestige. I think the Prestige is probably, to be honest, actually, I don't know. It's definitely top 3, no? Of his movies. Prestige, Dark Knight, and... I kind of like Interstellar. I know a lot of people don't like the ending and stuff, but I kind of like it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I find that Begins is better than Dark Knight. Yeah, I mean, I like Begins quite a lot, but it's just like the fucking Joker stuff. It makes it so memorable, you know? Like, it's kind of hard to... But I hated the third one, though. The third one was like, holy... I was in the cinema watching Anne Hathaway's ass, wondering, what the fuck am I watching? What is this? What is happening? Who's the villain here? Like, what the fuck? Like. The ass was okay. I don't know. I feel like she was overposing the ass, you know? Yeah, but Bane was weird because Bane was like working for another villain or something. There was like 2 villains in that movie or some shit. And then fucking Tom Hardy, I don't know. I like Tom Hardy, but in that movie it's like so, I don't know. Didn't do it for me, I don't know. But I don't think Bane was the problem, I think just the movie was the problem. I'm not an ass guy. I'm an ass guy. I'm an ass guy, but the ass has to naturally catch my attention. To me, it felt like Anne Hathaway ass was not really caring, so she had to, like, you know, exaggerate it. Like, she was literally doing this, brother. She was literally doing this, like, you know, like, it was forced ass, you know. It felt like a sex doll or some shit. It didn't feel natural. It didn't feel juicy, you know. It felt, I don't know how to say it. The best scene about Dark Knight is this movie. Which one is it? The interrogation? Oh, it's a parody. I'll watch it later. Who's my favorite director? I don't really have a favorite director, honestly. I'm more of like a film by film. If I had to say a name, I would probably say Francis Ford Coppola. But the problem that I have with Francis Ford Coppola is that I really like some of his movies. Like, there's like a few movies of his that I really like, but most of his movies I hate, right? So you know, I really like I'm an Apocalypse Now guy. I'm not really a Kubrick guy. I do like Kubrick, but I feel like a lot of the times Kubrick's movies feel too... They're not organic. I don't know how to explain it. Like, they're very well executed, but especially if you are in the business and you know the tricks and you don't get impressed by aesthetics, I think a lot of the times they feel really, like, constructed. Kind of like what I have with Nolan, honestly. A lot of the times you forget about there's people in his movies. David Fincher is definitely up there, and to be honest, David Fincher doesn't really have a bad movie, so that's pretty impressive. I mean, Alien is not really his fault, so Alien 3. David Fincher. I mean, I didn't really like the last one. What is it called? The Killer. I like the beginning, and then it's like, what am I watching? But it wasn't bad, you know. I didn't puke or anything. Nolan versus Villeneuve? Oof. I think for me it's Villeneuve. I think. But I also don't have like a pure devotion or anything like that. For example, I think Denis Villeneuve early work, I'm not like a super particularly fan, like and I like Incendies is really good, right? It's really dark too, but it's a memorable movie. And then you have like the high school movie, the Canadian elephant movie, which it's interesting, but it's not like if any other director did it, nobody would look at. But I think lately, he's been choosing... I think the projects he's taken on felt more challenging, and I think the results were impressive. Like, I'm more impressed, but for example, because, you know, I'm a big fan of the original Blade Runner. So I went in, like, I went in like, I'm gonna hate this, right? I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. Like Blade Runner, the 200, whatever it is, 47, whatever the fuck. It did feel like, I don't know, there's some things about that movie that I don't like, but like I don't like the entire fucking remove Jared Leto from the movie, basically. I hate fucking Jared Leto in general. I think every movie I mean, 99% of the movies Jared Leto is at, I wish he wasn't there. Like, I don't know, all I can see is Jared Leto wanting to be exotic for the sake of being exotic. It's morbing time. You guys know I haven't watched Andor, no, but I heard good things. You guys know I have a pretty interesting story about It's Morbing Time. It's a pretty good story, actually. Well, not really a story, it's more like trivia about me. But what if I told you that that I have a connection with It's Morbing Time? It's a pretty funny one, actually. I'll show you. It's a pretty funny one. But look, basically, this is my feature film on IMDb. This is my feature film, right? And these were my actors, Tom Forbes and Archie Reno, right? That's me. That's my, hey, 7.1, not bad, you know? And then what is funny is like, I basically, this guy started acting with me. So basically I find out this guy, like it's like his first, I basically casted, like he did like a short film and then I was his first movie basically, right? This guy is pretty famous right now. I basically, Archie, like, we will always be close, you know, because it was our first big project. And then I had Tom, right? Tom was already a pretty established actor in the UK. And he does some things. He hasn't done anything super big, but he's like a working actor. He's doing stuff all the time, basically. He's having a pretty good year now. But basically, obviously, these two actors met on my film, right? On Feline. And guess where they met again? They met again in Morbius. My two actors. It's Morbing Time, brother. So it's pretty. So I think it's a pretty funny coincidence. That was like years ago. It was like, you know, fucking 5 years later or something. But they were on Morbius together. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. He was on Alien Romulus, this guy, lately. He's hitting big in Hollywood now. I'm happy for him. He was a nice kid. We're gonna start morbing timing. I think that's pretty funny trivia. The fucking morbing time. Yeah, my full movie is pirated on YouTube, yeah. If you guys want it, I can send you a proper link to watch it on good quality. I have, my movie has been pirated, yes. Which, to be honest, I kind of took it as a, I don't know, like a compliment, kind of. I'm interested. I mean, if you guys DM me on Discord, I'll send you a link with good quality and stuff. I haven't been on set for so long now. Ever since I got involved in teaching and... It used to be my life. Do we get lucky? Yes or no? The answer is no. Dude, what the... Man, give me proper imprint, man. What is this? Oh, so close. It's Giga proccing though now. These are both imprint. So close, yet so far. That's pretty good. Pretty good too. I'm a rock star. Oh man, I'm getting so many flashbacks from back in the day. Now I'm just a teacher. Teach cinematography? Yeah, I'm a film teacher, yeah. I'm also like I am one of the founders of the school I work at now. We've been open. It's gonna be our 4th year now. I think this September is our 4th year. We started very small, obviously. Now we're gonna have. I think next year we're gonna have like almost 200 students. So we're growing. It's going. It's a lot of work though. That's why a lot of times I go on hiatus and I don't stream and stuff because this real life takes too much. I'm not gonna say what school though, because I don't want you guys fucking I don't know. Gotta keep it separated, you know. Hey. And normally what I do now on my because we have actors and filmmakers in our school. We have both. So basically what I do is I mentor the filmmakers into their final year projects and their big projects, pretty much the final projects, like the important stuff. I do all the mentoring from writing the script to like the final thing. And then I also kind of take care of making sure the collaboration between, especially on the final projects, between the actors and the filmmakers are successful, pretty much. I try to basically make sure that there's synergies between them and that there's good pairings and that they're, you know, I make recommendations and I try to introduce people and trying to hoping that they enhance each other and all that shit. Which is, I really like my job, honestly. It's kind of good because it's basically, I'm talking film and I'm like basically working on film all day, but I don't have to deal with a single thing that I don't like about the industry. Like, you know, production companies or public funding or, because that will, yeah, that is not good. I don't think anyone likes that, but some people have more, I guess they're more, either more driven or they are more resilient against it. Especially in the UK, it was absolutely horrible. If you ever wonder why are so many movies so fucking bad, it's because the process of making movies like forces that pretty much. Like that, I think the average time between somebody thinking of an idea for a project and actually shooting it is like 6 years in Europe. It's just like you fall in love with an idea, you want to do it, you're super driven, and just getting to the starting line will drain you, you know? And by the time you shoot the movie, you probably not even want to do it anymore, but you have to. It's like, imagine you had to kiss someone you love, right? Like you fall in love with a girl or whatever. You want to kiss her, but they tell you, okay, you gotta wait 7 years. I mean, sure, you know, you can kiss it after 7 years, but it's gonna lose the spontaneity and it's gonna lose the spark of the moment, you know, looking at each other's eyes, like, you know, like completely loses that organic necessity of sharing something or doing something. Because there's so much money involved in the business that there's so many like people are so scared of taking risks and losing money, which is understandable. And then another problem is that a lot of people, they want to do movies only if they do it. They don't really want to do movies. They want to do movies the way they're done. You know, they want the big salary. They want the big caravan. They want the big premiere. They want everything involved with making a movie. And that obviously, that is hard. If you want the whole package. Because, you know, if right now with phones and everything, if you want to make a movie, if that's your objective, just grab a phone and do it. €0, you know. Grab your friends, make them act, boom, you know. Pay for dinner that day, boom. But people don't want that. People want the big paraphernalia, you know, and the big... And, yeah. Sean Baker did it away? Yeah, absolutely. Why are not more people doing it? Because you have to be very driven, you know. Because even doing it that way is completely draining, you know, like creatively, like something like Tangerine or something like Florida project or whatever. You know, it's dedicating like 10 years of your life to 2 projects, pretty much, you know. So. But yeah, Sean Baker is a good example. And a lot of his movies are not even... I don't think they were particularly successful. Because I think, for example, the Red Rocket, I think most people don't even know that movie exists. And then Anora obviously was like huge, right? Oscars and all that. You never know. I'm pretty sure he shot the first movie, no? Tangerine, isn't it shot on a phone or some shit? I'm pretty sure it is. Absolute giga chat. I like Sean Baker quite a bit. You know what director I am actually liking more and more lately? I really like. I'm really liking new Scorsese, because you know, everyone likes old Scorsese, right? Like Goodfellas and all the jazz. Everyone likes that, right? But I think his new stuff is just like god tier. It takes more. You need to commit, right? Because they're long, big ass movies, and slow, pretty slow. I think they're good, man. Big fan of the new... Well, this last phase of his work. Pretty good. Not good anymore. Oops. If you spin counterclockwise, you get 30 DPS. Yeah, I do that. Like the classic. And if you... There is definitely some bugs with this. I actually haven't tested with the proper DPS thingy, but I always do it just in case. Have you actually tested with proper numerous? Like... I'll test it with proper DPS to see if it's actually true or it's just some animation bullshit. It should be pretty easy to test. Because it might just be like a visual bug where the numbers are stacking on top of each other and they look bigger, but it's actually the same. Look, slow motion spin. I'm pretty sure the visual effects and the hitbox are like not entirely connected. But... I'll test. This is truly a little Timmy build? Hell yeah, brother. We're embracing little Timmy here. Have to leave. Have an appointment thingy. I'll stream tomorrow though. I'll stream tomorrow. Giga. You can do exclamation Discord and just find me. My film is for free in YouTube? Yeah, but I mean, it's on bad quality, you know? Looks pretty shit. Sounds pretty shit. Like some fucking... If you wanna watch it on bad quality, it's fine. You can do exclamation Discord down there. Should be pretty easy to find me on the official Last Epoch Discord. Okay, Dober with it lesson. I'm pushing it now. Mainly looking for ways to make it tankier. I'll DM if you don't mind. Yeah, sure. I have to go now, but we can take a look at it yesterday. I mean tomorrow. Like post, like take a proper look at it. I would assume tomorrow viewership will dip a lot. Because, well, most people are gonna be watching PoE2 theory crafting and stuff. If they start, if they get patch notes or whatever. Is this the beginning of the end? Another 3 weeks, yeah, maybe it's huge. Through Edge. And they want people, they want to give people time to like make content, prepare. I'm kind of liking, I hope other companies did this. Like 3 weeks before patch is fucking huge, you know? For theory crafting, making content, making videos, preparing footage. For content creation and for hyping the patch is absolutely giga. Like for example, in Last Epoch we have 5 days, you know, and in 5 days you have to prepare all the content. What patch notes are we talking about? I mean, I'm expecting. I would assume we're gonna get patch notes, no, for PoE2. Actually, maybe they do. Maybe they do something like they do the reveal, but they don't do patch notes, and then they do patch notes a different day or something. That could happen, I guess. That they could do that. Normally, when they release things, you know. At least from what I've seen. It's usually a week before, yeah, but it's also with the reveal, no? Through Edge. They normally do the reveal and the patch notes. Have they ever done like a patch reveal like 3 weeks in advance? I don't think so, no? At least since I can recall memory. They're definitely changing it up for this patch, at least, which what they've been doing recently. But who knows? We'll see, I guess. We'll find out in 3 hours. Don't know what to. Yeah, I think it's been the same so far, but could be wrong. There's the final patch notes, no? Because they release patch notes and then they release final patch notes. As far as I'm aware. Like in PoE, they release multiple patch notes, no? They make like adjustments before the patch is even out. Based on theory crafting and based on feedback and based on their own criteria of just like, hey, we changed our mind about this. Am I not right about this? But they have more than one patch note, no? And how sick would it be if they release patch notes, they release tools, and then they ask for feedback and stuff, and they... Because, I mean, I think the one problem that PoE has, in my opinion, is that the fact that they're not doing, like... I think they're not doing the mid-season nerf bullshit, right? Like we do in LE. Brother, that game needs daily patches for, like, the first 2 weeks of a patch, I feel. With the current balance it has. I could be wrong, but... You know, a POB developer that was hired by GGG? Oh, that's good. I have to go now. I have to eat something too. Mid-league nerfs? It's an early game access. The priority should be making the game good. If the game is released, I think it's different. But that game is not even released, it's early access. You shouldn't give a fuck about nerfing stuff for... People are playing something broken, and they know it's broken, and it got nerfed. I mean, like, surprise, like... On a game that is released, I kind of like agree. Yeah, I'm talking about PoE 2, of course. I think that game is not at a stage where it doesn't need, like, to be honest, the same as last Epoch. Like when the devs announced like no mid-season nerfs for last Epoch, brother. Let's be honest here. Is the existence of Shadowrend, Recall, Umbra Blades, and all this bullshit, has this made the patch better or worse? Like, do we need to wait for 8 months to have that out of the game? Are we serious? Brother. I think when you have the game at the place where the meta is kind of established and you know, players expect like a polished product and stuff, like a proper 1.0, like in PoE, then it's fine, you know, like unless it's something super game breaking or something. You feel like early is early access because it is early access. But I mean, it doesn't have full features that were announced on release. Like it's only 1.0 in the name, you know, but it's not 1.0. Like the campaign is not finished. Like the mechanics are not in, the balance is not in. Like we're missing core feature. Like it's absolutely like early access, and it's being treated like one too. Like nothing. Like there's a shit ton of bugs. Like blah blah blah. To be honest, I feel like this patch is the first patch that has felt like, okay, this could have been 1.0 kind of. But the balance is definitely early access still. I think they're basically treating the expansion as a soft relaunch, pretty much, for the new console audience, and we're just on live support until that happens. I feel we are second tier players now. PC users don't matter at the moment. We already bought the game. Well, we play anyway. We basically don't matter. Sad but true, you know. Is console market big for RPGs? It's absolutely fucking huge. Absolutely fucking huge. Especially for a game like Last Epoch that already has like console stuff, and it's more similar to Diablo 3 and stuff. Like imagine this, right? Like if you take a look at something like Diablo 4, what do you think is the percentage of players that play Diablo 4 that play on PC, and let's even get crazier, that play on Steam? Because it's probably like not even 1%. Literally, on Steam is not even 1%. You know? It peaked at 50k players. This game has fucking millions concurrent, you know? Literally millions. Yeah, exactly, MML. It's like completely... And then you also have things like the Game Pass, which I think eventually Last Epoch would be, you know, I think it's going to have like a box price the first year, and then it will inevitably get added into some sort of again, when it launches on Xbox, I could see it being into Game Pass and Sony Pass or whatever the fuck they have on Sony. I think it's going to happen eventually. Not on release, but after. I mean, you can't even compete. Like, I don't think that these games are even in terms of market and people playing them. Bro, the 99% of people who play Diablo 4 don't know what an ARPG is. They don't even know. They know what Diablo is. You tell them, oh, you like RPGs then? They were like, what? What is an RPG? I don't know, Diablo, bro. It's literally that. And I know because I had this conversation. I had conversations like that in real life. 99% of people who play Diablo don't know what Path of Exile is. They don't know what it is. I would even bet like a lot of people who play Diablo 4 don't even know Blizzard is the company behind it. They don't even know. They don't know, bro. They went to game. They went to their fucking Walmart. They saw the game and they bought it on like, you know, or they downloaded it on the shop because it was recommended to them on their fucking For You page or whatever. They have no fucking idea. And they just thought, oh, Megan Fox? Holy fuck. This game looks sick, brother. And their library of games is like For Honor, GTA 5, Maiden 2025, Diablo. That's the games they own. Like, literally. Which, there's nothing, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, the target audience is like... Maiden 2026, you know what I mean. Right, I have to leave, guys. Oh, buddy. I'm gonna go for this guy. He's playing hardcore too. I think I've seen him on Bina's chat. Try to give some love to people, you know? Big kiss, big kiss. I'll be back tomorrow. Big stream tomorrow. Big reactions, big opinions. It's gonna be insane. Insane opinions, the best opinions, you know? Good takes. Good takes. Big kiss, big kiss.